Hey everyone, my name is Brian Mercier. I'm a professional Catholic speaker, I'm a retreat leader, I'm an author, I'm a professional Catholic apologist, and most people know me as Catholic Brian. And you probably wouldn't know it by looking at me, or my YouTube videos, or my retreats or anything, but I actually used to dress in all black, I used to carry weapons, and I used to want to hurt people and worse. I was so angry, I was so hateful, I was so depressed and angry every single day, and in fact I hated myself so much I didn't even look in the mirror for like 7 years because I hated what I saw. And this anger and this depression consumed me, and I always say that I was becoming like a Columbine kid, and I was heading down a path that was going to lead to something really bad. Thankfully, God got a hold of me, and Jesus really changed my life inside out, upside down, and backwards for the better. I mean, God literally pulled out all the hate in me and filled me with love, pulled out all the confusion and gave me peace, and he pulled out all of the hate and the sadness and the brokenness, and he just replaced it with an overflowing joy and happiness and zeal. And that's how I've been ever since, happy and joyful. And in fact, God changed my life. And that's why my ministry exists. I mean, I told God, I remember telling him to this day that, God, I just want to help people the way you've helped me. I want to heal people the way you've healed me. And I want to help people to have a life-transforming encounter with you the same way that I had. And so he's allowed me to do that. And that day, my ministry was born. But then I came back to the real world, so to speak, and I looked around and I found countless Catholics who weren't going to church, who were bored by church, who weren't being engaged, who weren't being catechized, who basically hated religion and were leaving in droves. And what was being done about it? I mean, I looked around at our church and, I mean, countless churches are closing. We have a shortage of priests. And in fact, the recent Pew polls, the statistics that came out, showed that Catholics were dead last, among the worst for passing on the faith successfully to the future generations. We have dropped the ball for 50 years, and this is why my ministry exists, because we need to stop. We need to start turning it around. We need to start fighting back, and we need to stop rolling over, and that's what I want to do. I mean, look at my diocese alone. In my diocese, 50% of the churches have closed or merged. And we had 227 churches, and now we have about 117. That's just my diocese. That's not all the other dioceses in the country that are doing that as well. I mean, look at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh lost 80% of its churches. 80%. They had 188 churches, and now they're down to 57. 57 churches, and that's just the Diocese of Pittsburgh and not all the others. And if you look at the declining numbers of priests and nuns, it's frightening. I mean, in my diocese alone, 80% of all the deacons are almost 70 years old, and 90% of the nuns are 80 years old or older. I mean, this is the future of our church. And where are the youth? Where are the young people? They say that 3 out of 4 kids will lose their faith in college, even if they went to church, even if they went to youth group. And in fact, 18 to 35-year-olds, the millennials, they say 2/3 of them don't have a religion. They claim not to have a religion, or they don't follow it. I mean, this is the future of our church, people. And where are they? They're not around. They're being picked off left and right by the sexually toxic culture that we have. And if we don't reach the future of our church today, we are not going to have a future church tomorrow. That is why my ministry exists. That's why I do what I do. That's why I'm so passionate about it. That's why I'm starting a nonprofit organization to do full-time apologetics and evangelization, and to start bringing people back to church, to keep people from leaving church, and to be the spark that just sets the world on fire again, to set our faith on fire, to set our church on fire. That's what I want to do. God has given me a fire. 15, 20 years ago, he gave me that fire, which is still burning today, and I want to share that. And I want to invite you to help me share that. I want to invite you to help me help the world. Help me in this cause, because I can't do it alone. Nonprofits don't exist on their own, and they can't run on their own. They need generous people like you to help support it. And if you feel the call, maybe you feel a call in your heart. You feel like, yes, this is what we need. Yes, this is exciting. Yes, our church is in an emergency state and we need to do something about it. And please consider supporting this ministry on my Patreon page. That's why I created it, to help and to create a team, to create an army of people who all say, yes, we want to make a difference. Yes, we want to save souls. Yes, we want to change lives. Yes, we want to see the youth come back to church. Yes, we want to do something. We're not going to be silent anymore. We've been silent for 50 years, no longer. No longer. We're done with it. We're taking back our church. We're taking back our country, and we're taking back everything for Jesus Christ. That's the goal. That's what I want to do, but I need your help. So please consider supporting. Now, some of you at this point will be like, okay, Brian, great. How are you going to do that? Well, the full scope of everything I want to do, you can find down below on my Patreon page. But real briefly, there are 3 ways I want to attack this. Number 1, evangelization and apologetics. Number 2, media, and number 3, youth and young adult evangelization. See, 8 months ago, a year ago, God called me to leave all my jobs, just to stop working and to try to do a full-time nonprofit, to do full-time evangelization. So 8 months ago, I said yes to God, and I said, I'm going to do this full-time, God, and that's what I'm doing. It's going to be done through speaking, through retreats, through conferences, men's conferences, youth conferences, charismatic conferences, family conferences, do workshops, seminars, parish missions. I've done EWTN, relevant radio, Sirius XM satellite radio. I mean, I've done a lot of TV and radio conferences, apologetics seminars, everything. We're going to continue to do that because they work and they're growing larger and farther and wider than ever before. In fact, I had this one girl who said she was an atheist. I mean, I've had a lot of people in my retreat say that they're atheists before the retreat, but after the retreat, they actually believe strongly in God. And this one particular girl went on to a Catholic college. She did some missionary work, and she's doing great in living her faith today. Imagine if we had more of that in our church. I also want to do it through YouTube. I mean, I could keep reaching 50 people by doing retreats, or 500 people at conferences, 5,000 people at conferences, or we could start reaching 50,000 people at a time through one YouTube video. Every YouTube video, 50,000 or more. That's the goal. And I just hit my first 50,000 mark on of all things, my Mormon video, which I did not expect. It was getting 1,000 to 1,500 views every single day. And it's a 53,000 views. And that's just the first one. So I want to hit the social media market because that's the future of the church. That's the future of our country. That's the technology that's going to help us to reach so many people. In fact, I met one girl in New York City, and she, out of 700 people, she comes up to me and she's like, "Are you Brian Mercier?" I said, yeah. And she said, "I just want to thank you because you saved my faith. I was literally about to become an atheist. I thought science disproved religion. You know, I heard all these facts and that religion only had faith. And I just happened to come across your YouTube video, and I just happened to watch every single video, and you helped save my faith. I literally watched them over and over and over again, and I'm back to church now. I'm praying now, and it's all because of you and the fact that you helped me through those videos. So I just want to thank you." And I could give you lots of videos of people who have come back to the Catholic Church because of these videos, and there's going to be many more. When I first started YouTube in 2015, I was reaching what? 10,000, 20,000 people. 16 was like 50,000 people. 2017, I reached over 100,000 people, which was starting to get good. And here in 2018, we're reaching about 100,000 people, just over 100,000 just in the first 5 months. By the end of this year, it'll be 200,000 to 300,000 people, maybe more. And by next year, hopefully 500,000 to 1 million. I mean, the fact is we're moving forward, and I want your help with that. I want to help catechize, instruct, train, counsel, inspire, educate, and so much more, but I need your help for that. Will you consider donating? I mean, we already got to give back to God. We got to give God, to tithing money. We got to give back to Him in some way. You could do that at your local parish. You could do that at EWTN. You could do that at your local shelter, or you could do this through my ministry. And if you're someone who has your heart stirring and said, "This is important. I really need to do this. I think this really needs to get out," then maybe God's calling you to help support this ministry, to help support this nonprofit. And I personally want to ask you to consider giving maybe $100 to $150 a month back to God, because He's the one who called me to this ministry. And if He called me to this and you support this, you're also supporting His call in this ministry's life. So consider that. I mean, if you want to give 3, 4, 5 times more than that, hey, I'm not going to complain. Sure, go ahead. I won't resist, and I'll put it all toward the cause. But alternately, if you also can't afford that much, if you don't have a good job right now, if you're not making that much and you only can afford, less, that's fine too. If you only can do 75, 50, 40, 20 a month, that's fine, because it's all going toward the cause. Here's the deal. Once you sign up and you join the team and you partner with me and we create this army of people with the same like mind, same like cause, you are helping. You're on board. You're helping to save souls. You're helping to change lives. You're helping to make a difference. You are part of the solution, and you're helping. And together, we're going to make a difference. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Lord of the Rings, but Frodo couldn't have destroyed that ring on his own, and Aragorn couldn't have fought off all those armies on his own. It was a team effort, and that's what this is, the Fellowship of the Ring, I suppose. But if you want to see more endorsements, if you want to see more pictures of what I do, if you want to see a fuller description of everything, please check it out down below. And please check out the different tiers from $10 a month to $500 or $1,000 a month. Please prayerfully consider this ministry, and please sign up at one of the tiers below. Or if you're on a computer, I believe it's on your right side. And I want to thank you, and I want to ask you to pray for me, and I will be praying for you. As always, I'd like to say thank you, and God bless you.